turn me up. I like my money like I like my niggas. Green face card, never decline of what I mean. Act up and you gon' make me make a scene. Only time you hear my voice is when they play me on the screen. Got bad habits, I'm not the one you wanna keep. She a trap star, put that lady on a tree. Got her ass so shook, she shaking like an apple tree. Yeah, this life ain't meant for you, but baby girl, it's meant for me. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. This lifestyle got girlies clocking on my teeth. This lifestyle can get you far, know what I mean. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. What it do? This my boo, she from the south. We running man just like these bitches run they mouth. I got the juice, but they still claiming it's a drought. If I say I'm coming through, I'm about to flip the house. That boy crazy, say he tryna have my baby. Hold on, Slim Shady, just like Mariah, drive him crazy. Got him stressed, make him feel it in his chest. Ask him how it feel, just like a bullet with no vest. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. This lifestyle got girlies clocking on my teeth. This lifestyle can get you far, know what I mean. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me.
Bros, welcome to Let's Address It. Okay, so this is where the controversy, confusion, and cultural chaos gets handled properly. Baby, I address past and present scandals, common misconceptions and internet myths, wild viral moments, and old drama that still needs resolution. The things people think they understand until we dig deeper. If it's wild, weird, or wrong, baby, we're pulling up the timeline, the document, and the receipts with some grown woman commentary. Because I address it all, you might as well just call me Miss Addie. Let's get into this mess. Vibers, what is going on? What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? It's your girl. It is your girl. What is going on? So look, we've been talking about it, but now we about to be about it. Let's go ahead and get into this mess. So I hope everybody is doing good. And I heard that there is a vibe, that there is a birthday out there that we need to address. Lorraine, where is Lorraine? I heard it's your birthday. I heard it's your birthday, girl, alive. What is going on? Hey, Lovejoy in the bushes. What's going on? Starry-eyed, Jackson, Corey, Miss J, Lady T. What's going on, everybody? So where is Lorraine? Because from what I understand, it's Lorraine's birthday. And we definitely want to wish our girl alive continued health, wealth, success, all those things that she wants, desires, and needs in order to fulfill her greatest and highest good, okay? Where are you? Hey, Beyonce. So we're going to go ahead. I don't know where she is, though. Where is she? She was just here. Hey, Philly girl, new girl. So we want to say happy birthday to our good sis. Lorraine has been around since the very beginning. I would definitely say that she is a day one. And I just want her to know that I appreciate her. And we're going to get over here and we're going to sing our reviver, happy birthday. And then we're going to get into this mess. Who is ready to break down some mammies from the Mammy DSM? Okay, let's get all up into this mess. Let's see. What are we going to... You know what? She's been around for so long. She probably deserves both birthday songs. I feel like she does. Okay, but first we're going to hit her with a little happy birthday, Sweet Pea. Okay?
Happy birthday, Sweet Pea. Happy birthday, Sweet Pea. Happy birthday to you. May our good Lord bless you. May our good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you. Happy birthday, Sweet Pea. Don't worry about nothing. It get better, trust me. Happy birthday, sweet pea. I love you, sweet pea.
We love you, Sweet Pea. And because you've been around since we started clowning with the old school Dusty, honey, we got to bring it back. Okay, we got to bring it back. Let me go on over here and get our classic birthday song, the one that got it crack-a-lacking for us, right on out the way. Because why is a birthday truly complete unless a Dusty Negro has sang it to you? Let's go.
Happy birthday, hey, to you. That shit hit. Hold up, bro. Niggas ain't on my shit, bro. Happy birthday to you. Oh. Happy birthday, dear organic. That was all right. Happy birthday to you.
All right, happy birthday to our girl. Let's switch back over here to our side and let's go ahead and get into it. Did she ever show up where she is? Annie says, why y'all still got this man working? LLDIE is for what? Die is over. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. It is not over. Okay. We gonna have this man getting happy birthday shenanigans together for us until we find a better Dusty. Okay. Until we find a better Dusty, baby. This is what we got. This is what we got, Muffin. This is what we got. So listen. I have been talking about for a while now. You know what is with the resolution going on from my camera? What's happening here? I don't know. Maybe I don't have. Let me turn the lights on a little bit more because maybe that's what it is. But listen, the Mammy DSM. Let's go ahead and get into it. So we've been talking about this, and I saw TMKC earlier, and she remembers when I first introduced this concept. It was kind of big. It was going around YouTube, inspired other people to start doing this, like literally, like I think it was the week that I introduced it, and I might introduce the concept the same way. I just did like about 10 to 15 examples that most people probably would not even recognize or realize was doing the Mammy stuff, honey. And we just went there. And went in. And it's very important to me. And I think it's something that it's something good that women need to look into because honestly, I feel like we all she called him yes, I did call. He is a DEI hire. Yeah, he's a DEI hire. Absolutely. But back to the Mammy DSM. So first I have to say this because we get a lot of questions around this. And I just have to say this part. Okay. Under no circumstances are we here to apologize for or curb our speech or what we're talking about or the experiences of women for the benefit of the men. Because number one, that's Mammy shit, right? That is absolutely Mammy shit. But what we're going to get into is the psychology, why it's dangerous. And I'm going to get into a little bit of the book, which the download will be ready tomorrow at midnight. And I will begin the pre-order process for the actual copies, I think about a day or two later, so that we can start getting those ready and prepped for you guys, because this is a big deal and it's not over, because the more I got into it, the deeper it got. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into it. The intent of this book is written, right? But I'm just going to go ahead and say it. So this is not anti-male, right? Because first and foremost, and this part is somewhat in the book, like most women love our male counterparts and all this kind of stuff. I don't know if every male counterpart is worthy. Let me change this so that everything can be seen. There we go. No, that's not even it. Let me see. What is happening here? Why is this? Is this it? Yeah, okay, so that's better. All right. So it's not about, because if you guys hear me say stuff about BWE every once in a while, right? It will be available in hardback and paperback. Okay. So it's really up to what your preference is, but the digital download is obviously coming first because that's a little bit easy to get out, and that's what everybody is on and all that kind of stuff, right? So the main Mammy, you guys, we have this thing. We have the overt Mammy, okay? And so she would be the proud defender of Black men. The covert Mammy, the dangerous enabler, right? The malignant Mammy, she is the attack dog. The hyper-vigilant Mammy, the not all men police. The damsel, okay? So she's the helpless pick-me. Then we have the sexual Mammy, okay? She's the sexist power woman. We have the financial Mammy. She's the sugar mama, okay? The masculine Mammy, okay, she is the alpha chick. Then we have the traditional Mammy, and she got that big mama energy, right? And then we have the struggle Mammy. She is the ride or die, no matter what, okay? She gonna sleep on the streets with you, okay? After that, we have the survivor Mammy, right? She is the trauma apologist. She has been through everything, okay? Her mama put her through it. Her daddy put her through it. Her man put her through it. Her job is now putting her through it. Everywhere she goes, she is a magnet for trauma. Now, I want you to understand that for the most part, a lot of these archetypes are victims. They just don't realize it, right? We have the unaware Mammy, right? This is the one that's climbing Mammy Mountain, baby, and she don't even know it, okay? And then we get into the cultural cost, okay? That is what Mammy has done to Black women. Then we get into the recovery plan. The recovery plan is how you break free. And then finally, we get into the unaliving of the Mammy, okay? And the rise of the main character. So again, this is not about attacking men. We're not moving in hate, but we are standing in self-protection. This is intended to be a pro-woman text, but without the unnecessary venom. Our goal is not to destroy the image of men, because I mean, let's be frank, they do it on their own, right? But to liberate women from the chronic self-abandonment that has been packaged as love, loyalty, and legacy. If women want to have stronger communities, we need stronger women. And that starts with not just telling the truth, but also accepting the truth. And I'll be the first to admit, I have had some Mammy tendencies before. Absolutely. So before we even get into the subject matter, which would be, we might as well go ahead, since we've been talking about this subject and we have ongoing examples and ongoing topics. That's why this first installment is going to be using the example that we have seen from Sonya. And I think it's almost the perfect example. The only thing is, I'm gonna need y'all help, because she literally fits in several different places in the book. It's really, really crazy. Okay. But let's give the historical Mammy definition for people that come in and don't understand and think that we're trying to dog historical Mammy. That's not it, right? So historical understanding of Mammy is complicated because she ultimately operated under stress, making a selfless sacrifice, many of them, while maintaining the qualities of a quote unquote strong woman that happens to be a mother, a housewife, a nanny. Although she is not always respected historically as a victim, historical Mammy must be remembered that in most cases she was also a victim, a slave, or whatever. You know, she was going through it. But the modern Mammy, because this is where a lot of people get it twisted. The modern Mammy is any woman who consistently prioritizes the well-being, image, and success of men, often at her own expense and to the detriment of other women. The Mammy DSM exists to name, deconstruct, and help women detach from toxic, male-centered social programming. So it's not too late for Sonya, okay? Somebody need to get this book for Sonya. Get this book for Sonya and to Sonya before she end up somewhere locked up, because that's where she's headed, okay? Even though I absolutely believe that Sonya's fight for, you know what though, in a lot of ways, I feel like Sonya's fight her climbing of not the Mammy variety presses. Hey, Lorraine, happy birthday, girl alive. We definitely gave you happy birthday wishes and a birthday song. So where was I at? What was I just saying? Hey, Scar Beauty. Hey, Scar Beauty. But somebody need to get a copy of this. Okay. Somebody need to get her a copy. So let's go ahead and get into it. Matter of fact, we need Sonia probably in the background somewhere. So you know what? Let me find Sonia so we could get a visual. Okay, since she just loved being in the mix, you know. So let me go ahead and let me see. The avatar is on Taz, so it needs to be on. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Let's turn this off and let's get into the content. Okay, so you guys can hear me okay, right? So Sonia. How many ways? Again, y'all are going to help me. Y'all got to help me because there are so many different ways that she fits into this. So let's start naming off some of the stuff that Sonia has done in order to climb Mammy Mountain. I think I just want to get a still of her actually. I think I just want to do that because this is like, it's too much seeing her and her old boobs. Okay. Let me pull this down. Okay. With Sonia, we have seen her go after Shirley, right? We've seen her trash Shirley, which is the woman that is married to the man that she wanted. We have seen her attack victims. We have seen her blame women for male behavior. Like we've even seen her blame domestic violence on other women. So one of the things that I want to do is I want to read this one part of it to see if you guys think that this part also fits her, because I think it does. I think it does fit her. So that is going to be there are so many that fit her. Let's go into, because I was going over there, I was talking with Taz about this, and he says she fits the financial Mammy the best, but I think she fits all of them. Okay, so let's go into the covert Mammy, right? She's the dangerous enabler. Okay, and I'm going to read what the book says it is. Okay, so the covert Mammy doesn't raise her voice. She doesn't tweet long threads or call into radio shows. Instead, she whispers toxic advice in your ear while pretending it's wisdom. She cloaks her male loyalty in softness, diplomacy, and quote unquote balance. So a good example of that is when Sonia is doing stuff like, because, you know, she's always trying to act like everybody else is the problem, but she has a solution. That's why she's friends with men and all this kind of stuff. Think of all the weird stuff that she told him to do about the case and the weird stances that she took on the victim, right? And acting like she's so smart and all this kind of stuff. And it is cloaked in her loyalty to him and her, you know, I just care about your freedom. I just care about his freedom and all this kind of stuff. All about, you know, diplomacy and balance. And she's the type who convinces women to stay in abusive situations, to be understanding. Because remember the conversation? You said the fence sitting Mammy, baby. Look, you already in part 2 that I already started on, right? But what she does is, you know, she's trying to be understanding, right? Because being understanding and not talking back and not talking up for yourself, even when it benefits you the most, it helps you to quote unquote not emasculate the man. You know, her calm demeanor makes her, you know, dangerous. You know, she's always doing this baby talk, all this whining and all this kind of stuff. because, you know, as he trusts her, and, you know, here's the thing. A lot of people think this book is just for men. I mean, just for women, but it's for men too, right? Core traits of this mammy is passive aggressive protector of men, speaks in emotional manipulation, frames abuse as miscommunication, gaslights women into staying silent, appears wise but often enables male harm. Okay, and so let's get to what the book would say the root causes are. She is conditioned to believe male peace is her responsibility. She grew up watching women excuse or endure abuse quietly. Religion and culture reinforce that a good woman is silent and understanding, rewarded socially for being agreeable, compliant, and not like those other women. But if you really, really think about it, most of Sonia's issues started with her childhood, and really that's everybody's issue. Everybody, yes, the fake sister report. And look, here's the thing: two mammies together is a recipe for a disaster, and that's exactly what we seeing happen with Sonia and Sylvia. That's a mess. And even if they refuse to publicize it, baby, we are going to know and eventually see pretty soon. We're gonna see the end of that era, because number one, the type of mammy that Sonia is and the type of mammy that Sylvia is, and they do have a place in this book, right? They don't like women. Here's the thing. Most mammies don't really like women. They don't. Okay? They do not like women. They do not like girls. They tolerate them. They tolerate us. Sylvia doesn't like women. Sonia doesn't like women. Sonia has openly said that she does not like women. And why doesn't she like women? Because she was raised by mammy. Because she was raised in a culture that taught you to be a damn mammy. That's why. That's why. And here's the thing. The biggest problem is, and look, this isn't, you know, if anybody feels called out, it's not, don't. Because even if this has been your upbringing and your understanding, there's solutions here. There's work to be done, but we first got to identify it. I had to identify the things that I used to do that was climbing Mammy Mountain. Baby, I found a post that I made on social media. It had to be 2013. Y'all, I'm so ashamed of what this post said. Child, I literally said, we have got to start supporting our men. Everybody is against them. Everybody is attacking them. They really do need us as sisters to stand up and be their backbone. That is the most mammy, that is the most embarrassingly mammy mindset that you could ever have. Now, it comes from a good place, right? It comes from a really good place because really you're just trying to help. You're showing empathy or whatever. But that's a damn fool talking. That's a damn fool, because half the time when you're having that conversation, okay, that's why, you know, Mammy Mountain is a climber. She's climbing and stuff like that because, you know, she got her marching boots on all the time because she ready to bust down at a Black Lives Matter event. And, you know, she like a Minuteman. You know what the historical Minuteman was back in the day? They ready for battle in less than a minute. A mammy is ready for battle for these men. And I'm not saying that decent men in certain situations don't deserve defending. That is not what I'm saying. Okay. So if anybody comes in here talking about, well, what about the good men? We're not talking about them. Okay. So if you feel like I'm talking about your daddy, your husband, your brother, your cousin, your son, it might be because he ain't shit. Okay. Because we're not discussing good men, right? Because typically decent men that actually have a level of masculinity and pride, they don't want you to do all of that. Okay. They don't want, it's hard for them to accept help. Nesto is the classic magnet for a mammy because Nesto gonna sit back and let you take care of him. He gonna let you pay the bills. He's going to position you to be the provider. Like, you know, the whole thing about the whole pimping situation with Nesto, that pimp mentality, baby, that's real. That's absolutely real. He is on some pimp stuff, but even with him being on that pimp stuff, you know, just be honest. Hoes are mammies, y'all. Hoes are mammies. They're sexual mammies. Everything that they do, for the most part, especially if they got a pimp, right? Every single thing that they do. Hold on. Miss J said this last episode of Stupidity took the cake. So we need to review that then. Maybe we need to review that. We need to review that. Okay. Maybe what I'll do is I'm going to talk about this for a little bit longer. And what I'll do is I will schedule and do a redirect on the other channel so that we can talk about it. We need to talk about that. So let me tell you some more about why Nesto and Sonia is a perfect match. Of course, they're both not very, very bright. But Nesto is actually smarter. Nesto is actually smarter because let me tell you what Nesto's not going to do. Now, Nesto just got caught up in his game. But what Nesto was never going to do was compromise what he had in a way like Sonia has, right? So Sonia then positioned herself where a decent man ain't going to have her. She's completely marred and ruined her reputation. We're gonna have some Saturday night fun. We're gonna have some Saturday night fun. So yes, the minute this one ends, we're gonna redirect to the next chat and we're gonna go over that thing. And if we need to point out the mammy shit in there, that's what we're gonna do. Okay. 80% CMOS says, do you think Sonia really doesn't get it or she's just doubling down because of YouTube? Sonia, oh yes, Dr. Carissa. Muffin, I already have that in the lineup. The cast of Sex in the City. Yes, straight mammy, sexual mammy. Okay, so let me tell you why, because a lot of people feel like hoes be empowered and stuff like that. And I can understand why people can kind of like get that or whatever, because they feel like it's their body, they making money, they're charging for it and all this kind of stuff. Okay, let's just think about the girl that I did the video on just a couple days ago. Then tow her asshole from A to Z, right? Being a sexual mammy, right? And granted, she might be getting paid for it, but baby, is it worth needing reconstruction surgery on your butt? Is it worth it? Because remember, at the very essence of all of this, a mammy is a woman with the mindset of, I'm going to do these things that benefit everybody else but myself. You may get some residual benefits, but the long-term benefits, no. It's really for everybody else, It's for everybody else. But Sonia, in this relationship with Nesto, she's literally put herself in the corner because she also has this massive ego, right? And again, I absolutely do believe that Sonia's stand by Nesto has more to do with her fight against YouTubers and the way that she brings up my name. And the anger that she has for it, instead of herself for getting her butt into this dumb situation, I really believe that she's trying to prove a point to me, but which is silly as hell. Okay, I'm sitting here. Y'all hear the water behind me? Y'all hear it? I don't know if you guys can hear it. You hear the water behind me? Okay, I'm chilling. I'm relaxing. Okay, I have on my on a muumuu. Okay, I'm chilling. Sonia's pressed. She's pressed to prove to me and to YouTube and to everybody that she's right about Nesto, and she knows she's wrong. It's almost like being in a cult. Y'all familiar with the Carbonation chicks? Remember how they would sit up there and call that Negro God, but God needs you to pay his bills. And God needs you to pay his bond. Remember how they will sit up there and repeat all that stuff about him. They know it's lies, and they're still there even though he's locked up. They know it's not the truth. They know that it's all lies, but they're trying. Yes, they are. Tell me that part. Sexy RN says, headed to a concert, but I definitely will be purchasing this book. Everyone have a good day. Thank you so much. Yeah, they are perfect examples for mammies. They victim blame other women. They will beat other women. Being a mammy is almost like, it's literally a D for the D challenge. If y'all remember the challenge everybody was doing when they was talking about all the things that they would do to get the D. It's for the D challenge on steroids. It absolutely is. She's driving herself crazy and she's not benefiting from it. And let's say Nesto gets off. Is he really the prize? This Negro can't get no Social Security because he ain't filing no taxes, because he ain't never had no job. He's not paying into, he there's no retirement. There's nothing there. They're too old to build something together. This dude is 94 years old. She's 79. What is the benefit? If he does get out, all she has is a dependent. But you know what she will get to say? And this is what's worth it to her. What's worth it to her is to say that she won, that she beat YouTube, that she beat Tasha K, that she beat that girl that put all my information out. That girl put my information out. Exactly. I don't even think he can get food stamp. His retirement plan was Shirley Strawberry. And Shirley Strawberry, we need to talk about her because she qualified as a mammy. Many of us has. He's going to run off from her because she does not have enough resources. Hey, let's talk about it. She don't have enough resources. She said, "Oh, don't forget about the pink moon tonight." Oh, yeah, that's right. There is. You're right. So let's move on a little bit further and get into it. Actually, Shirley might be in chapter 8, but I think that Shirley actually has overcome. Y'all tell me if this sounds like Shirley real quick. And I wanted to have a day specifically for Shirley, and we will, but just as a quick one, right? All right. So in chapter 8, we go over the damsel mammy. Okay, the helpless pick-me. All right. The damsel mammy is all about performance of fragility. She presents herself as soft, submissive, and helpless, never demanding, never critical. Her weapon isn't her voice, it's her silence. She plays weak to appear desirable, often weaponizing her femininity to appeal to patriarchal fantasies. She doesn't speak up for women because she's too busy trying to be protected by men, even at the expense of the women those men harm. Now, while everything in that description, that little summary, doesn't apply to Shirley, perhaps the core things do, right? So let's just think about the fact that Nesto was running in and out of her house, going to spend a night with Melody, going to spend a night with Gail, going to screw Sonia in RVs and Walmart parking lots, right? All of that. All of this is because Shirley was silent. She was silent. She was okay with letting him get away with it. She was okay with the exchange of, I get the appearance of having, this man that's next to me and opening doors for me on social media, but and acting, calling me cotton candy and all this kind of stuff, because it probably was a bit of an ego boost because, she older than him. And I don't think that Nesto is a bad looking guy until he opens his mouth or whatever. What's up, one Jennifer? But that was Shirley turning a blind eye, even not even speaking up for Sheridan and her grandchildren when she should have. She should have been speaking up for them. When Nesto was talking that mess, referring to them as them folks, Shirley didn't say nothing. Shirley allowed Nesto to basically act like he was a victim of her daughter, right? The core traits of the damsel mammy: plays the victim in every situation, uses femininity to gain male validation, perceives confident women as threats. I don't think that that's Shirley, but these are just the core traits of some of them. Seeks protection from men against other women, rarely speaks out against male harm. That's a lot of women. The root causes are they're conditioned to believe desirability is tied to weakness, right? And we see this conditioning all the time. Can you go online any day and not see Black men, or any man for that matter, okay, talking about how women need to be submitted and do what they say and all this kind of stuff, and your silence is your strength and all this kind of stuff, basically telling you to be quiet. You having an opinion is a problem. You know, um, the women who go into chat rooms or go into these podcast spaces and say stuff like, oh yes, you need be submissive to your man, queen. Or they'll declare how they are submissive and they're cooperative. And the biggest one for me, exactly, a lady is to be seen and not heard. But the biggest one to me, and I think it's because people don't even understand what feminism is or whatever, the women that come out and can't wait to jump out and say, I'm definitely not a feminist. I would never be a feminist. I just, oh no, feminism is not, or I like this one. Feminism is not for Black women. Okay. If you really think about it, Harriet Tubman, baby, that was a feminist. Okay. She took charge, right? She took charge and will pull out the blicky if you got out of order. You know what I'm saying? So many women that are out here that are, ingrained in our history, they were feminist. And I have a question for any woman that, and I get it, why some people say that they're anti-feminist is because they go to the extreme example as, as the rule. So no, competing against men and saying that you hate men and all this kind of stuff, that's not what feminism is. Feminism in its core is the protection of women and girls, is the upward mobility, to be in support of the upward mobility of women and girls. And there is nothing wrong with that. Men proudly proclaim what it is that they support about themselves and about each other. But the minute you go talking about you're a feminist, basically saying that you're going to stand up for women and you're going to stand up for girls, you're the enemy. And these women be coming, oh no, she's a feminist. I'm not a feminist. I would never be. And it usually be like the worst kind of women. Think about who is that? You know that situation with Cam Newton. Remember when his girlfriend was on there talking about how she's submissive and she doesn't talk back and she's always making his plates and she's always going to do this and make sure, but he cheating. But he cheating. You can't non-feminist your way into making anybody do anything for you. And especially, number one, they ain't gonna respect you no damn way, because nobody respects someone that they could walk all over. Nobody does. And the woman he cheating on you with, she probably a feminist and don't take his shit. I've seen that happen, honey. Queen Nola says, yes, she does. Remember what she said about Margie Shirley felt intimidated. That's true. That's true. That's true. Honest Gen Z said, I feel that using third wave feminism or women who hate men is just an excuse. It absolutely is an excuse. Because here's the thing. If you're a woman that don't believe that women should be feminists, what you're saying is that men should be deciding how many tampons you have, what size they are, and everything about your body. That meeting should happen between men. Men should be deciding what comfortable underwear you're wearing. Men should be deciding things about the female anatomy. If you don't believe in feminism, you are leaving that in the hands of men. That's what you're doing. Like, you might as well move to Gilead. If you don't know what Gilead is, that's from A Handmaid's Tale. And by the way, Scar Beauty told me it started back up. And we had a tradition as vibers to watch that. So y'all just let me know if y'all just want to watch this first season, or if you guys want to at least, if y'all want to start over, whatever y'all want to do, but we need to get back into movie night, okay? Jupiter Sun said under his eye. He said under his eye. So anyway, let me see something. Because I need to have a meeting, because these weird questions be coming into this comment section, and baby, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying any of the foolishness of these new accounts that come in here asking where they at, what channel they own, and all this kind of stuff. Like, that don't even make sense. Either you follow or you don't. Okay? Either you do or you don't. And if you don't know, then I don't know why you don't know. Okay? Don't like, we're on to y'all. We're absolutely on to y'all. So Yeah, I saw the 3 episodes, and I was gonna watch it, but the only thing that stopped me from watching it was I wanted to watch it with y'all. That's the only thing that stopped me from watching it. That is the only thing. So hang on one second. Let me take out some trash real quick. Where'd it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Hold on. Hold on. Okay. So yeah, can you give me a second? Can you give me a second? Because I'm looking through StreamYards right now, Lorraine. I appreciate it, but I got you. I got you. So let's go into the other definitions that kind of fit Sonia. Okay, the financial mammy. She also kind of fits under the financial mammy, right? Okay, this is the sugar mama. The financial mammy doesn't use prayer, submission, or sex. She uses her wallet. Remember how every time, like in season 1 of these calls, no, season 2, actually, season 2, when she would go visit him after almost every visit, she'd be like, I put $100 on your book. You got any money? I'm gonna leave you $100. I'm gonna leave you $100. Remember that? Right. I got you. And all this kind of stuff. She's the financial mammy. So she uses her wallet. She believes that her money can buy her respect, love, and male loyalty. She gives generously to men who wouldn't cross the street for her, often supporting toxic ideologies with her coins. This mammy type is transactional. Believing her value is in her ability to provide, fix, or fund a man's potential, even if it means neglecting herself or undermining other women in the process. Now, the core traits of the financial mammy: provides financially for men with little to no reciprocation, dismisses or criticizes women-focused financial programs. I can remember, do you guys remember when Goldman Sachs was offering Black women businesses grants, which one of my cousins, her amazing business was a recipient of that? There were women who were out there saying that they disagreed that Goldman Sachs should not be supporting Black women's businesses like that because that would disenfranchise Black men. Okay? She believes that love must be earned through sacrifice and giving. Supports men publicly, even when he harms women or her support harms women, She sees money as a pathway to approval or protection. Okay? The root causes: raised to believe her value lies in usefulness or productivity, which is why she always doing something on Monday, right? Why she always trying to act like she's an attorney. Why she's always trying to act like she knows this person and she did business with this celebrity and she did this for this person and all this kind of stuff. She's always trying to make it seem like she is the ultimate resource. Okay? Riley Newman said in those text messages, she wouldn't say can't wait. She would say can't wait to spoil you. That woman is seriously a loser. And don't get me wrong. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with saying per se that you cannot wait to spoil your man. But if there's no reciprocity and he ain't spoiled you first, you're a fool. Point blank, period. Okay, I spoiled my husband because he spoiled me first. Point blank. If he didn't spoil me first, if he didn't reach for me first, I would there, he is the conductor of how much loyalty I have for him. Okay. And that's the thing. You get your roles all twisted up when you do stuff like that. Okay. Because first of all, men are hunters. And if you don't want to hunt, what good is he? You know what I'm saying? Right. Oh yeah. 80% CMOS. Let's not forget the investors. So no, there's nothing wrong with quote unquote spoiling a situation when it's healthy. When it's healthy, no, there's nothing wrong because there's reciprocity in there. But If you find yourself cooking and cleaning and gifting, and this Negro is always in your car, and you're always making the sacrifices, and you look around your house or whatever it is that you guys have or what you got going on, and there is nothing that you can look at to see that he made possible, it's time for you to make your exit, because you're on Mammy Mountain. If it's always on your credit, if you're always making the sacrifice for him, if you're always providing a soft place to land for him, baby, you climbing up Mammy Mountain. And look, he not gonna stop you from climbing. He ain't got no damn pride. He don't have no self-respect. He's gonna let you run yourself into the ground. And when you're no good, he's just gonna find another mammy, because they're very plentiful. Exactly. They won't appreciate it. They won't appreciate it. I knew this girl, this Negro he was a bum, would not work, would not do nothing, but he demanded, and she believed in the quote unquote traditional family, right? Now, just get this, because this is how, especially in this conversation with that 50-50 stuff going on. With that 50-50 conversation, what comes along with this is these men to be like, what you got to bring to the table. As soon as you hear what you got to bring to the table, followed up by I'm a traditionalist, that's a lie. Because a traditional man ain't worried about what you got to bring to the table. Okay? He plans on providing that table. Now, he might want you to take what he gives you and put something on the table with it, but that's not it. And I'm not saying that, that we're in times where every man is going to be 100% providers and like you don't have a career. That is not what I'm saying. But typically that man who's asking you what you have to bring to the table and who's demanding 50-50, he also wants you to cook and clean. He also thinks that you're the nurse. He also thinks that you are, you're the domestic person, and he's not. But what I've often saw is that women who go for this stuff, or even if they, they think they're in a traditional situation, and the thing is, when people say tradition, you have to be careful, because traditions change. Traditional in 1950 is not traditional in 2025. It's not the same damn thing. So when they have this idealization of the 1950s, Leave It to Beaver, Florida Evans, and all this kind of stuff, they're probably abusive. But here's the thing. A lot of times these women that be mammying, they're mammying for the cause of being traditional and being an old school throwback woman to a man that don't have an old school throwback bone in his body. And I'm just here to tell you, for the most part, at this point, that golden era, very, very rare. Very, very rare. And in this day and age, if he ain't at least 55, he doesn't even know. Okay? He gonna watch you pump gas while telling you to be, traditional and feminine, and that he's the man and all this kind of stuff. He's gonna watch you cut the grass. He's gonna watch you take out the garbage. He's gonna watch you. Exactly. This is it right here. Modern men looking for traditional women. But I said all that to say, these same men that be demanding submission, demanding that you bring something to the table as well, and that your place, are the same men that will come home at work, after work, hopefully, just like you came home after work, expect you to cook dinner, do the dishes, put the kids down, clean the house, and do all that stuff. And what is he doing? Playing PlayStation, the game. Just sitting there, wants his plate on the table. Both of y'all got a job. Both of y'all, I'm telling you now, if you're doing that, baby, you're climbing Mammy Mountain. You're climbing Mammy Mountain. Because look, there's no harm in having the career. That's admirable. You should have your aspirations and your goals. Even if your goal is to be a stay-at-home mom. That's what you want to do. But let's say you're a doctor or an attorney or an entrepreneur, whatever that is, girl, you working. So how is it that you're like you busted the traditional threshold right there? And the fact that this Negro needs your half on the bills, he's not traditional either. You just traditional. And if you being traditional while he's being modern, you are claiming Mammy Mountain. And who benefits from this? Who been like, I just, if you really, really think about it, all of the stretching, all of the striving that women do to non-deserving men in order to maintain this image of I'm a righteous woman, I'm a feminine woman, I'm not like these other chicks, I'm not doing that. All that striving that they do to their detriment is literally look, they aging bad. Okay. But this can be reversed. We can help you out. We can help you out with that, right? We can definitely help you out. It can be reversed in most cases. Let me see what Dr. Carissa said. Dr. Carissa said, and to keep you in your place, this same Dusty will attack your looks or money and say you're being too masculine, even though he's benefiting from said masculinity. Baby, I couldn't have said it better. I couldn't have said it better. Okay. Flores Crime Critique and Review TV said, I had to pull back from a friendship because too much mammy tendencies talking about fighting behind a dude. Yeah, we got a chapter for the masculine mammy. She always down to fight. She always down to fight. But at the crux of every mammy, honey, is a woman that does not like women. Because you don't even like yourself. You don't even like yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, the root causes of this sugar mama or financial mammy, right? Raised to believe her value lives in usefulness or productivity. And with Sonia, the example is, I own this business. I have these investors. I know these celebrities. I can do this for you. I'm an attorney. I'm going on Monday to file this paperwork. I'm doing this. I'm out here. I'm just fighting for his freedom. I'm going to shut those bitches down on YouTube because I'm worried about your freedom. That's her. She believes that her value lives in being useful or productive, right? When really that's very male identified. Okay. Unhealed abandonment wounds that cause her to buy connection. We know that this woman has unhealed abandonment issues because her mother abandoned her. She's expressed disdain against her mother. Probably her earliest example of a woman came from her mama being a mammy. Now, granted, her mama left mammying for her daddy to go be a mammy for Mr. Charlie, right? Because Sonia did say that her mother allowed her white husband to refer to her and her sisters as black bees. Incredible. But if your mother is supposed to be your biggest cheerleader, your protection, that person, listen, when it comes to my baby, I'm calling her my baby, and she's either 34 or 35. I think she told me she's 34. I've been calling her 35. She told me to stop, right? I will move heaven and earth. Okay. If you want to see me act a damn fool, if you want to see me get locked up, it's going to be behind my daughter or one of my grandchildren. Okay. Or Taz's daughter. That's just how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? You just have a natural inclination to protect, and do that. And her mother didn't. Walking off and leaving those girls while they were developing still with a man, because Sonia's dad, I ain't gonna lie, he had some good aspects to who he was, like in the community and stuff like that. Being an entrepreneur, I would never say that he's all bad, because for the most part, most people aren't all bad. But he was a hoe. May he rest in peace. He was a hoe. He had hoes in different area codes. Children all over the place. That Negro had an entire rainbow coalition. Okay. Scar Beauty says, don't blame Mr. Look, do y'all remember the stream we did about the Mammy songs? Baby, that's at the top of that one. Don't blame Mr. Charlie, because Mr. Charlie is just a man and he's doing the best he can. So many women go with that. He just a man. He's just a man. Sunshine says, it's incredible how much Shirley and Sonia have in common. Listen, I said in the very beginning, Shirley is to Sonia the same thing that Nesto was to her. Same thing. Because if we think about Shirley, what have we always said? Shirley knew that she had a slick Negro. She had a slick Negro who was out here hustling and stuff. She knew he 100% legit because he kept going back and forth to jail. She wanted to take a blind eye because she thought that she would benefit. Okay. This was an upgraded version of the guy who flips your taxes and then who tell you to give him your tax refund so he can go flip them. But when he go take your money to go flip them, he goes somewhere and buy him a $2,500 car and put $5,000 rims on him. Mm-hmm. And then he come back 3 months later talking about he was locked up and got robbed. And then you forgive him and let him come back in the house and let him start eating the kids' Lunchables and shit. Okay, it's the same dynamic. Shirley thought that he could flip her coin. Shirley thought that he could increase her territory. Shirley thought that he could give her that. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, sis? Real life is not in cyberspace, girl alive. What's going on, boo? But yeah, and there you go, Sunshine. They both talk poorly of their daughters. But yeah, there is no difference though between what Shirley wanted from Nesto than what Nesto wants from Sonia. So even in that, they're literally Shirley and Nesto were mirroring each other as far as their codependency, because Nesto said, this is why, Sonia is perfect karma for him, because Nesto thought that Sonia was going to be able to flip some shit for him. Nesto thought Sonia was going to be able to increase his territory, move and shake some stuff for him. He really thought that he was going to benefit from what he thought was a younger, more vibrant, not in age, but, she tries to appear and come off as, a little bit more youthful and stuff like that. Just don't even make no sense. But he got exactly his karma. He did. So what else do we have here? This is literally going into this financial mammy. This is a part where I do talk about Sonia in the book. I'm not going to give it all away. But okay, the next part was learn that being a provider equals being loved. This is why you hear her talking about how Shirley was supposed to put everything on hold for Nesto, right? And honestly, she's doing what she says Shirley should do, right? She's risking it all. She's putting it all on the line. She's positioned herself to basically fail so that he could succeed. That literally, I'm gonna tell you, look, I just thought about it because it just came to my head. Y'all know another Mammy song? Crazy Mammy song. It sounds good. It's a bop, but it's a Mammy song. The only thing that's saving you is a heart of a woman. If the only thing that's saving you is a heart of a woman, that woman's heart is mammified. 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 That's another Mammy song. Another Mammy song, okay? Let's see. Loneliness, lack of self-appreciation. We already know she lonely. That's why she got the undocumented baby and why she got time to talk to inmates on the phone. Right? Exactly. Making herself the footstool. Okay. And then another root cause. Yes. Summer Walker. That's a Mammy song. Amen. Rewarded for taking care of others at her own expense. What does Nesto say? I sure do appreciate you. I appreciate everything you doing for me. I appreciate it. He don't. Because a real man wouldn't even want you to put yourself out like that. Wouldn't even want you to put yourself in a position like that. But she sold herself as a woman that had means. And so Nesto, being the type of Negro that he is, because remember how she always used to talk about how, like, when I was in the hospital, Nesto came to visit me, and he called me every day. We know that he was doing that because that was a love bombing stage. It didn't cost him shit to call her. She was popping all this mess about her having all this property and having all this money, and I'm doing this. So he was setting her up like he set up all the other women. That's all he was doing. And she has paid tremendously for hospital visits and phone calls. Okay? That's what she has ruined her professional reputation, her social image, her public image. Any chance she had of doing flipping something on social media into something positive and lucrative, she ruined that. She ruined all of that for phone calls and hospital visits. Don't even make no sense. So another thing that I have in here are, the pop culture references, right? So that would be the examples of this financial mammy. All right. Women donating to anti-woman platforms. Thousands in super chats to toxic podcasts bashing Black women to manosphere content creators. Baby, I could name lots of women who love to support a Negro that is dragging and dogging women. Now, not to be mistaken for, because I'm with the whole, the equality ministry. So I don't feel no type of way when a chick get zesty and feisty and spicy with a dude, because we're on the internet, and he, returns that energy. I don't care about that. But a lot of women think that men are not supposed to defend themselves against women, and I do. Now, I'm not talking about no physical stuff, but yeah, I'm not with the ministry that says that that women are supposed to just be able to have carte blanche to say and do whatever they want to a man, and he's just supposed to take it to prove something. No, absolutely, because I don't hate men. And I understand that men are people. Now, the type of person that he is depends on, what category I'm going to place him in and how I'm going to deal with him. But no, I don't believe that. But yeah, you got these women that will do anything. Like, even when I think about it, to be honest, every situation that I had on the platform when it came to women and their attacks, these women were mammies. The majority of what they did to me was to gain popularity or approval from men. So let me give you an example. And you know what? Real, if you want to take the link, because you might have some insight in this too. I don't know if you're busy or in class or anything. Listen, in 2020, a group of women lobbed an attack against me, right? All of those women were attacking me basically for the manosphere. Okay, I don't know if everybody here knows what the manosphere is, but we'll have to get a little bit deeper, which is something that Real Life and I do once a week. We go and we do these story times and kind of break down and talk about some of the experiences and some of the things. But these mammy literally sat in discords and back chats and all these places trying to, quote unquote, bring me down for men. Literally for men, for their approval. And to the point where they literally, because I think that's a good example. That's a good example of how they will literally do anything to tear up a woman. Okay, I just sent you the link. Yeah, it was crazy. And then as we break the stuff down, like one of them, we talked about it, the overgrown rabbit, right? The overgrown bunny. She did that because a guy that was on the platform that openly told her he was not attracted to her, did not want her, would never have her. She literally attacked me so that he would like her. And some of the women attacked the men because they thought, I don't know why they thought that it would make them like them or whatever, but that's what some of these mammies do. So let's see. Another example. Do you remember Mary Jane Paul being Mary Jane, right? With Gabrielle Union, financially supported a man who was emotionally unavailable and dishonest. That's what they do. That's what they do. And that's literally what Nesto is. He's dishonest and emotionally unavailable. He don't really mess with Sonya. Every time we look up, he dragging her. Nearly every time he stay dragging her. Okay? The other example that I have on here for the financial mammy is your girl, Miss Waller, YouTuber. Believes that she has become Nesto's number one because she was his number one provider while he sat in jail waiting to be tried on RICO charges. Did she not fit the bill? I wouldn't, like, with all of this stuff, I'm not just pulling stuff out. And then there's other stuff in here that I'm not going into because it's more, this is like this, I guess the skeleton part of it, just kind of like the foundation, right? But then, you know, the consequences of this, or the real life situations or case studies, right? A woman who gives her boyfriend money for rent, car payments, and clothes while she's struggling. We know Sonia's struggling. We know this girl do not want to drive no 2008 Mini Cooper. That ain't what she want. Just last year, she was talking about getting $150,000 Prevost and all this kind of stuff. Sonya wants to drive a Tesla. That's her preferred vehicle. But because she's got to pay for all of these visits, and she's got to pay for this commissary, and she's got to pay Global Tail Link, she driving a 2008 Mini Cooper, right? A woman, you know, who supports a male content creator whose content regularly demeans Black women because he's just misunderstood. Oh, they love that. They love that. And typically, you know, we need to get into the Afrocentric mammy, okay? With her Afro puffs and her shea butter and her onks and all this kind of stuff, baby. We're gonna have to get into that. They are literally some of the worst. So the consequences of being this mammy, right? The financial one. Financial exploitation and depletion. And we definitely know that she's going through that, which is, you know, it's really sad because we saw, like, she doesn't even look, I don't even think she can afford her fillers anymore, because why would she be walking around looking like that on purpose? Continual disappointment and heartbreak. We see that. She wears it all over her face. All over her face. Every time we see her, she's starting to look more and more, you know, depleted. Heartbroken. She's always disappointed. He's always, you know, throwing shots at her. Internalized resentment towards other women who expect more. Now, we know Sonya doesn't like women that actually have boundaries and a standard, like Shirley has developed. She got a problem with Shirley because Shirley got off the train, right? She said she wanted an Audi. That must not have made it to the state. Oh, did she say Audi? Audi? Yeah, that's how they Southerners say that. Because I remember my dad used to call his Audi an Audi. And I didn't know what the hell people were talking about until I got to be an adult. I'm like, wait, it's not an Audi? It's an Audi. Okay, got it. But he country, so you know what I'm saying? And let's see. Internalized resentment towards other women who expect more. We definitely witnessed that with how she viewed Okay, my girl is here. Let me add her to the stage. Hey, hey now.
Hello, darling. How's my sound?
Oh, sounds great. Sounds
Good.
great. Sounds
Good.
great.
Yeah, I'm loving this discussion of your book. I'm loving this.
Thank you. Thank you. So we were talking about the financial mammy and just talking about these mammies in general, right? But I think that the financial mammy definitely fits Sonia. But what I was asking about, because sometimes I can't articulate it because I went through it or whatever, but like, would you say that, but I guess some of them did it for money as well.
Mhm.
The mammy behavior of like some of the attacks, because I think at the root of all mammy is anti-women. They don't like women.
Mhm.
They don't like women, and it is for male approval. It's for validation from men, and hopefully, I can diminish this woman and become, you know, I guess it or picked or
Mhm.
whatever. You can go
Mhm.
ahead.
Completely exactly how you said it. Excuse my voice. I'm still getting over this cold. But yeah. And when you mentioned about the overgrown swamp rabbit and what she did to gain the favor of that guy, had the nerves to, when he clearly had already, as you said, told her he wasn't interested, but when he doubled down on that by throwing her basically under the bus by what he did with the informations, right? She
Mm-hmm.
didn't even attack him over it. It took her like 3 years to figure out what that message was. Tried to attack you on a different level because of it. Like the nerve.
Yeah. And that you know what, that's a big deal because their anger is always misdirected. The anger always gets directed at the women, even though the man is the one that's dogged them out, did everything, like
Mhm.
just she literally took out on me that man didn't want her.
Yep. And that what he did was supposed to be your fault. But if they weren't obsessing, because actually he was obsessing first, that's what made her do it, right? Just following right
Mm-hmm.
along. So
Mm-hmm.
instead of identifying that, it still had to be your fault, which is not only completely displaced energy all around, but like the level of denial needed for that, especially when I was sitting right there looking at her have the revelation, like, oh shoot, he really did throw her under the bus. Like, how did it take her like what, 3.5 years?
Girl.
3.5 years to figure that out?
Girl, I don't know, but that was a damn mess. That's all I can say. That was a damn mess. And I still don't think she really gets it though. I really don't. Willing
You
to
know,
bet she still don't get it.
what's crazy? It's like some part of me thinks that even though they get it, they'll still push it aside because I guess it's painful to live like that. But also, whatever it is that's causing that behavior, I guess they just rather not face it, which is why they do what they do, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Mm-hmm.
have to be more vigilant. A lot of times I think saying things like that is shamed, especially in certain cultures. It's shame. Like we're not supposed to identify that because it sounds too conceited or cocky. We have to throw that shit away. Like it is what it is, and it's
Mm.
not. It has nothing to do with being cocky. It's just being realistic.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I
Absolutely.
appreciate it. And so one more consequence of this financial mammy is disempowerment disguised as generosity. Now we definitely saw that with let me see. Dr. Carissa said y'all talking in past tense like she just did make a video 3 days ago saying it. Wait a minute, who
Oh
said
right,
I'm
right.
jealous
I'm
of
like,
her?
what?
Wait, the big bunny said I'm jealous of her?
Impossible.
No,
Abomination.
she's talking.
There's
Maybe she's
no way
talking.
that happened.
Dr. Carissa, you are tripping.
I think
You
I
are
think she's
tripping.
talking about another weirdo who did similar things. She's got to be because the
She's gotta
overgrown
be.
rabbit is under the swamp at this point, and she shall remain there.
You are kidding me. She said that I was jealous of her.
Oh no, she's talking about jack o' lantern head, teeth ass. That's what she's talking about.
Girl, bless, you know what? Bless her heart. Bless her heart.
Shoot, you're better than
Bless
I in that
her
case. I'm like,
heart.
fuck her heart.
Girl, I like, what? Dr. Carissa, stop it.
Listen,
Stop it. Do she let me stop because that's not my frequency. That's not my frequency.
girl, if that's not your frequency, I'm gonna have to go on mute and remain there.
Cause baby, why? Why would she like
She's
girl?
been trying to push that same exact sentence since she first laid eyes on you. We actually heard her say, a paraphrasing of that. I was
Yeah,
confused because I felt blah blah. Like, please, we
girl.
need a YouTube psychologist to come and diagnose these hoes before they get to push that live button because I'm starting to cry shit.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, like that's ridiculous. Absolutely. So, look, we're gonna get to her. We'll probably be dealing with her sometime this weekend.
Mhm.
But section 7 for the financial mammy intervention, breaking the pattern, right? So, Sonia, what you need to ask yourself is, am I giving to build or am I giving to belong? And you need to realize you are not a walking charity, nor are you a retirement plan unless you want to be one, right? And so the action that you take is to redirect your investments inward. Stop rewarding emotional bankruptcy. Learn to receive as much as you give. Okay. Um, and actually, this goes into the next chapter. It says we're going to meet the mammy who doesn't just protect men, she becomes them. The masculine mammy is the loud,
Mm.
brash, and aggressive archetype who uses male mimicry to dominate other women. Let's go there next. So, we are definitely going to be talking about that type of mammy. Wait, and she said, I'm still. You know what? Here, Dr. Carissa, I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. You know what? This is always said by women that have never been chosen to be nothing but a man's whore.
You better talk about it.
That is literally the common theme, and it's mammying. So if you think anything that you want to do to take off or take away or diminish another woman, to put yourself above or something like that, you got to lie or do anything to diminish someone because you don't have it, that's mammying. That's absolutely mammying. Okay, you might as well be, you're almost in the role of a protection of any sort of institution that is anti-woman, because like, why would you do that, you know?
Absolutely, especially when you're married to an urn that was the husband of somebody else. Absolutely.
Hello.
Hmm.
Hello, child. Just a mess. And literally, while this woman is on record and documenting to try and be with not just my husband, but multiple. Okay,
Facts.
multiple.
Facts.
Mm-mm-mm. She said he didn't even let her be a 304. She was 304 adjacent. Damn. That's pretty bad. That's pretty
Thanks,
bad.
girl.
Yeah. But anyway, I do think that the financial mammy really did kind of sum up Sonia's personality and her issue like really, really bad. I didn't want to go into like the meat of the conversation because then you don't need the book, right? But we're gonna have more talks and examples in pre-recorded content about these different types of mammies. But the next one that we're gonna do though live is we're gonna talk about the struggle mammy, the ride or die one. And let me just give you the definition. So the struggle mammy is the woman who holds a man down while he drags her through the mud. She's a ride or die, always working, always praying, always believing in his potential. Even when he has proven he has no potential, she just I believe in you, baby. She stays with the dusty because she thinks love means suffering. That endurance earns loyalty, and that one day he'll finally become the man she imagined. Spoiler alert, though, he rarely does. Okay. We'll definitely get into that. Definitely. Not listen to 504 is crazy. Go to the wall. Go to the wall. Where is the wall at? Let me
I
find.
have a question.
Yes,
After
ma'am.
after we figure out where the wall is, um, so you said he rarely becomes that because I was gonna think you said never. So let me ask you this: do you think
Mhm.
it's pretty ubiquitous that when he does become that, then he drops her like a hot potato on some shit like, "Bitch, why'd you like me back then?" With your
That-
low self esteem and low aspirations ass. Look at, you know what I mean? It's just like,
but no, but think about it though. Like even when like they be helping them, graduate to the next level, like let's say whatever you're pouring into him, because they tell you need to speak life into him, right? You speaking life into this man, and then he gets that life. He gets
mm,
that life. So his actual male persona or male identity starts to pop out. So now he don't want to be your understudy. He don't want to be no woman's understudy. So now he wants to take on his natural role and protect, provide, and make provisions and teach and be in a position of authority or leadership or whatever. He gonna go find a woman that he can actually impress, because he can't impress you because you made him.
Perfectly stated. Absolutely.
You
Yes.
his mama. You his mama.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
You got me with the almost praying part too. I mean, always praying part. It's hilarious.
Like they pray without ceasing, baby. These women at church on Sunday on their knees trying to pray him out of his side chick's house. Trying to pray this Negro into a job. Trying to pray that he learns to properly wipe his ass. Anything. You know what I'm saying? Like they are before the throne of grace, seeking out mercy. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and end this. I just wanted to give an introduction to what we're gonna be doing. And some of the stuff in the book. Like I said, it'll be ready for download midnight tomorrow. And we will start taking pre-orders for the autographed copies. But right now, we're going to end this. And on the other channel, we are going to react to the latest call that dropped. And if you don't know, this is my girl. Real life is not in cyberspace. We have been doing once a week a little podcasty like talk breakdown of some things. Go ahead and put your channel in the chat. You guys should subscribe to her. And get into it. Make sure you don't miss. We would be on our third episode. We're going into our third episode. 504 says, is she in the book? No, I ain't wrote your book yet, girl. I ain't wrote your book yet.
It's funny. Is she in the book?
504, child. Let me, I've already started. No, I didn't start the live. I set it up. So I'm going to put it in the chat. And hold on, let me share it over here.
So, boo, I'm gonna go do some self-reflection and make sure I'm not holding any of these traits just by ancestral whatever's going on. Okay, I'm gonna go take these 2 showers with some salt and some coffee. Okay.
Yes. Look, I had to check myself because I definitely was climbing, honey. I've been climbing. I've been a climber before.
And you know what's crazy is that some of us are just being, oh no, I'm about to say it, but I think it fits. Some of us are just being good women. But it starts to feel like this because of the state of the present, like the way that people are, the way that society is. It's like we almost have to fight against that just because of everything you're saying, which is honestly like, it's some serious truth. Now, I don't know what these hoes be talking about when they be talking about shadow work, but I think this book is going to be what does it. Like, this is the real shadow work here.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's literally what it's designed for. Like literally the real shadow work. Okay, no fluff at all. No fluff at all. Let me put this in the chat for the girl.
Love you much.
Okay.
Everybody.
Thank you so much for coming up. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. I'm glad I caught it. Sometimes I have to understand like why I'm not getting notifications, but yeah, I'm glad I caught this, and of course, I share in the Discord. Much love, boo, and talk to you later.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All righty. Let me this is her channel right here. Let me go grab it so that you guys don't miss the episodes that we are doing on this weird stuff that happens with these weird ass mammies on YouTube. Let me see. All right. J double M55 said, my youngest daughter, who is almost 39-year-old, said when she was about 30, your mama don't ever be the child. That is a word. That is a word. That's right. You know what? Dr. Carissa, I'm gonna email you. Dr. Carissa says she is coordinating the Mammy interventions. Ma'am. I'm gonna send you the manuscript, Dr. Carissa, so you could take a look at it. This is her channel. Let me pin it. There you go. Okay, so that's Real Life's channel. And Jupiter's Sun said, my husband thinks the Mammy Mountain songs are hilarious. They are. We're gonna leave on Mammy Mountain. Hey Gail, how you doing? How you doing? But also, you guys, I don't know if you guys realize this, but I'm working on rebranding for these two channels. For the graphics and all this kind of stuff. I should have that stuff done. I'm still working on branding packages for people that I'm helping to get their YouTube profitable and all this kind of stuff. And so it's like taking me a little longer because I'm getting more and more inquiries and stuff like that. I'm already getting people inviting me on to talk about the book and all this kind of stuff and get into it. So but y'all, I'm booked and busy. Okay. Yes, we're adding author to my ledger. Absolutely. Absolutely. And already working on the second installment because it made me realize just how there was so much more that I could have added into it. So much more. So we're going to go ahead and end here. Let me see something. Let me give some okay, right here. So we're gonna get into some Friday night shenanigans. Okay. Thank you. Let's talk about it. Also, listen, we wrapped up yesterday 21 days of manifestation, right? And when I tell you the manifestation is manifesting, okay? Just to give like a little bit of summary on what's going on. So I am heavy into manifesting everything that I get, everything that I have. And I will tell you, down from the money that my household brought in, that I brought in personally, that the house that I live in, the car that I drive, everything that I have, it comes through manifestation, right? And so I wanted to share that and definitely build a core group of people that want to do it. So in this group, we have been getting together and we have been basically manifesting together and watching it work. Okay. People have been getting jobs, business increases. One lady said she had the biggest sale day ever. So many things, doors are opening. Eventually, because I don't want to give anybody's testimony of their own or whatever, but like out of nowhere through our visualization techniques and our exercises and our intentions, we have been getting wins. It has been absolutely amazing. And so our first group, we're moving on to the next phase on the 21st of this month. So that's locked. No one can get into that second phase, but I will start another beginning stage for anybody that wants to get in, and I'll release the details for that. It has been awesome because listen, let me tell you something. You might as well manifest for yourself, because what this taught me was that, you know how like people will sit around in groups, right? Just think about how like we saw people jump on panels and just have conversations, lies, and just making up horrible stuff like, you live in a van, you're poor, you're broke, you're getting beaten, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. That is a form of manifestation. That is a form of manifestation. That is people that have decided to get together in a group and merge their energies into something negative and project it onto people, right? And if you are not constantly on your game, be it being in prayer or whatever is your practice is, constantly visualizing, constantly evolving and speaking life and doing life-giving things to yourself, you might as well, because there will be, especially if you've seen any level of success. Let me tell you, manifestation is for everybody. Anybody that wants to win, anybody that wants to get to the next level. I'm just going to put it out here, right? And I've shown receipts, so I don't have to I manifested a year of over $200,000 in income. Okay? That's how cold my manifestation game is. Okay? Without having to leave the house. I manifested that shit. Okay. I manifested this house that we live in. Okay. And I'm currently manifesting a bigger, nicer one now. Okay. All of my wins, but you also have to understand there are people that sit around and negatively manifest against you as well, right? And sometimes those things, if you're not careful with your mindset, if you dig into their frequency, if you don't set your own frequency so that you can keep growing and climbing and overcoming, you will get caught in that, right? Exactly. Dr. Carissa says, what you say matters, words matter, words cast spells. I've been saying this for years and people don't get it. Words cast spells, that's why it's called spelling. Okay. What you believe about yourself, okay, what you think about yourself, what you think about your future, and who you partner with, okay, it all matters. And so I'm like, if people can get together and gather up to manifest and cook up dirt and destruction and evil and failure, if people can get together and collaborate on that, people can also get together and collaborate on something positive, and that energy is stronger. And this is what I need you to know, Muffin. Everyone who does these principles, whether or not you do them on the bad side or Rockin' Robin said her real estate business has picked up. Gail says, I hate to even share my good news because I know a Hayden B is watching and waiting on something. And she's another one. That person was manifesting negatively for you, Gail. She was manifesting negatively for you. Manifesting negatively for Shanna. Going, the girl released a book and she had people going to, throw dirt in. People work hard to keep people down, to keep people, limited, and to keep people in a bad space. But you can work hard at keeping yourself out of their sphere. You can stay and stay putting yourself in a position to be protected mentally, financially, socially. You have to. And you think about, like, if people can get together and conspire and wish bad on people, people can get together and conspire to wish good on them as well. You can conspire for good, but even there's residual benefits to either one of those things, right? So the people that cook up lies on people, destruction, the people that delight in people's failures or with their perceived failure or whatever, they're cooking too, right? But they also have to, that's their frequency. So this is why they're stuck in those ruts. This is why they they reap the benefits of that vibe that they're on. But when I am talking to the women that I am vibing with, and we are all literally promoting each other, loving to hear, all of the wins that, like, it's just an amazing experience. It's an amazing experience. Dr. Carissa said the opposite of manifesting is spell harvesting. Don't run from it. Girl, can I get an amen? Gail says they can't seem to manifest anything good for themselves for some reason. They never can, but they can manifest bad for you. And this is why it's so important for you to speak life into yourself and to not get into the headspace to where that shit can affect you, because you are every single thing that you believe about yourself. You are. Okay. There was a time, and I'm going to tell you, I have been in position to where I had, and even, with some of the stuff that I'm doing with real life, I'm being very transparent about it. If you have people constantly, imagine you have 100 people on any given day talking horribly about you, saying that you're poor, you're dirty, you're undeserving, you're bad, you're evil, you don't deserve anything. This should happen to you. This should happen, just literally putting that bad in. If you listen to that and you dwell in that energy, what they say may come to pass because you're participating in the frequency. This is why I'm not doing any more responding to any of these people. That's not my frequency. I'm a winner. Okay. I'm a creator. Okay. I'm a manifester. I do good stuff out here. Okay. I get a good harvest. I seek good stuff. I don't go looking for, bad stuff. And again, this is not me saying that I'm perfect or anything like this. This is just saying that I am above that. I'm above that. People can only affect you if you allow them to. And typically, if they are affecting you, it's because you've decided to be on that same frequency with them. If I respond to these people, if I talk to them about them, I am literally in collaboration with them. Literally in collaboration with them. I will never be in collaboration with low bottom of the barrel. Never again. I will never validate that. I will only validate what serves me. Okay. There's a reason why I win. There's a reason why, throughout this whole thing, like I'm the one that gets the opportunities that they all want and that they all get angry about. We said something very profound in the manifesting meeting yesterday. And it's this, and then I'm going to close so that we can get ready for the other stream so that we can react and act the fool, right? Don't ever, 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 ever apologize for having a seat at the table that the next bitch can't get an invite to. Let me say it again. It's not your fault, and you do not apologize for sitting there and eating from the table that you are at that they can't even get invited to. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your problem. That's, they have their own frequency. They have their own life. They are part of their own movie. You create your own movie. You create your own reality. Okay. And what I made the mistake of was, thinking, well, you know what? I'm just going to humble myself and I'm just going to take it to some degree. Because maybe if they feel like they're better than me because I'm this poor, homeless, ugly woman, right? They'll leave me alone. No, these are demons. These are demons. I should have never let people think that they were equal or better. Okay. Because they don't even believe it, which is why they do the things that they do. Honey, it's not my fault that you're down there. Okay. That's between you, your mama, and your God. Okay. Now, if you want some of this good stuff, I would suggest you raise a vibe. Okay. Starry Eyes says, dim your light for no one. Exactly. Don't dim your light for no. And that's what they're asking. People are afraid that you are sitting at a table that they have not been invited to. And that's all that is. That's all that is. Okay. And that just means that, they're not on your frequency. There's a reason why you're chosen for the things that you're chosen for. There's a reason why you get the invites that you get. There's a reason why you get the support. There's a reason why the things at work happen for you the way that they happen. And like I said, it does not matter what it is. If you have any sort of gift, if you have anything of value, these are things that can happen to you. People will try to take it away from you. People will try to manifest negatively for you. It could be you being a good singer, right? You in the choir because you the baddest alto, or you the baddest soprano. You know what I'm saying? They bad. They want to sabotage you. But don't sleep on the fact that as they sabotage and they imitating and they're mirroring. Okay? Because we do also talk a lot about mirror work in the manifesting group. We talk a lot about mirror work and how beneficial and powerful that is. And understand that the evildoers, they're doing mirror work too, Muffin. They're doing mirror work too. Okay? They're chanting these evil things. Right? With lots of intent, with lots of energy. Why do you think that if you've ever heard these people mention my name, you can hear the evil. You can hear the hatred. You can hear, especially when they get to talking about my looks, or they get to talking about my house, or this and all this kind of stuff. And just really think about it. Oh, she's this, and oh, that's not, it's ridiculous. And it's a really really primal raw feeling that you get from them, because they're literally demons. They're literally demons. Literally. Jupiter Sun says, may the bridges I've burned light the path to my salvation. Amen. But I'm telling you, so we're starting another cycle 2 of beginners. I'm going to start that. I'll be releasing that. It's going to be closed. We're not going to take more than 21 people. Cycle 1 is already closed and moving on to the next phase. And then we're going to roll out some more stuff for the beginnings, and we're just going to keep it moving, because we can definitely build a network of people that actually are positive and that actually want to see you win. When we're talking and we're having these meetings, I've been getting up at 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning at different times, between like 4 and 4:30 in the morning, and literally putting in work with my sisters, right? And it has benefited. We have seen results. We have seen like some of the most amazing energy happen from this. When you are amongst a bunch of women that actually give a damn, that get happy when you win, that love to hear the good reports. We're not like the jealousy stuff and the feeling like you have to diminish yourself. That's not there. That's not there. We shout each other out. We encourage it. Okay. We encourage the glow. We like to see the glow. We love to hear the wins. Nobody's intimidated by seeing another woman win. Nobody is intimidated by seeing another woman say, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to do. There's no judgment. None of that. Okay. None of that. It's an amazing thing. And if we can continuously get cycles going, build groups of women with that type of energy, we can change our space, our reality, and our personal culture. Okay. One thing that I want to say, and then I know I just say I'm going to wrap it up, but I really am going to wrap it up because I see you. You got a birthday and we're going to celebrate your birthday. But listen, Muffin. One thing that I want to say, what's going on right now politically, a lot of people are afraid, right? A lot of people are uncertain about what is happening right now. People are scared. People are feeling uncertain about the times that we are in. People are trying to trigger you into manifesting horrible futures for yourselves. Do not participate. Do not participate. When you see these people talking and they're talking about, oh, we going back into Jim Crow. We going back to slavery. We ain't going to have no jobs. They going to do this to Black people. Baby, that's a manifestation. That's a manifestation. And I don't participate. And I don't recommend you participate. You ain't got to participate in none of that shit. I don't care what color somebody that's orange, red, white, or blue, or that's what position that they in. They do not determine your destination in life. You do. Your mindset determines everything. Okay. Everything about you. Okay. Because people never have to change. You have to. You do not have to buy and then understand that the powers that be, they know what they're doing. They understand that they are coaxing us into getting into this massive literally manifestation ritual. Literally. I'm not participating, honey. I understand my power. I understand these principles, and I know that they will work for my greatest and highest good, no matter what the Tao says, no matter what the people in office say, no matter what these celebrities are saying, these people crying all over the internet, this is going to happen, destruction, we're going to turn into third world country. Baby, whatever happens, I'm going to win. Do you understand that? You are going to do whatever it is that you believe and visualize for yourself. Do not believe the report of these people on television. It does not matter. The only thing that matters is what you believe and what you do. Do not participate in the ritual, because it is a ritual. Everywhere you go on social media, what are people saying? Doom and gloom. Our money is going to fail. This is going to fail. Baby, ain't nothing happening to my money. Okay. Whatever happens, I'm going to win. I'm going to benefit from it. My highest and greatest good is going, turn that shit off. Don't listen to it. It's lies. If people want to participate in it, baby, that's your business. That's your business. You can participate. I'm not participating though. I'm not. Thank you. Everything that happens works for my favor, no matter what. Baby, if this house burned down, it'll be in my favor. You understand? No matter what. Every single thing that you guys have watched me go through over the last, year and a half, 2 years, some of you longer than that, has happened for my greatest good. Has happened. Never would they have been able to imagine, and I've shown the receipts for people that, need proof, and I'll show it again if I have to. Listen, I am a housewife. My passive income is social media, right? What do people like to attack the most about me? What do they like to attack? They like to attack, they like to talk negatively on my finances, my home, and my looks. I look better than all them hoes. And I got way more money than they will they will never get the kind of money that I get. Okay. My everything that they manifested negatively for me, I shit on them with. And that's why they're mad, honey. You understand that? You see how that works? Everybody on TV is manifesting something. They got specific points that they are manifesting, right? Specific things. They're talking about our finances. They're talking about our jobs. They're talking about this, and that. Well, you can manifest too. You can manifest too. You can do it too. That's what I did. That's what I did. You want to attack my money? Guess what? Spirit said, girl, don't worry about it. We getting 200,000 this year. Okay. I made 200,000 last year. This year, I want to make 280 to 3. I'm declaring and decreeing. You understand? I'm declaring and decreeing. Okay. I sow seeds where I'm supposed to sow seeds. I pour into people. I help. I visualize. I maintain, and I manifest. I speak whatever they speak death over. I give it life. Okay. They say, oh, you live in a van. You're homeless. They mad, ain't they? Once they saw my house, they mad, ain't they? Yeah, baby. I'm spelling too, baby. Everything that they attacked, I do triple better than they do. Everything that they attacked, and you can too. So if people are going around saying that you're going to be poor, or you're going to lose this, or you're not going to have this, those are the areas that you are going to be heavily manifested in. Those are the areas that you're going to get your vision boards. You're going to get your affirmations. You're going to get into this quantum leaping, honey. You're going to get into it, and you're going to let that shit pass you. You don't believe nobody's report about your life. You don't listen to it, because if you listen to it, it will affect you. Okay. Now, the only thing that I manifest for them is that they get 4 to 5 times everything that they've ever tried to manifest to me. And hey, if you're a righteous person, me saying that I am returning every single thing that you wanted from me and that you desire from me times 5 to you, that shouldn't be no problem. Shouldn't be no problem, right? Anyway, let me go ahead. I will see you guys later. I'll be dropping the link for when we start the cycle 2. And the next, well, you guys already, cycle 1 already knows what we're doing and where we're going. But cycle 2, if you want to get into this manifesting, we will be available for you. Okay. We will. Okay. Fuzzy says, I touch and agree with that. Return to sender. Listen, look, I have seen it happen. I have been in positions to where I had so many people trying to manifest negatively on me that it hurt me. It hurt me. It made me feel tears. It put me in tears. It put me in a bad negative space. And I finally had to say, girl, because listen, if you listen to bullshit long enough, if you listen to lies long enough, you'll start to believe them. I started questioning myself. I had to look around, I had to remember who I was. I had to remember that I've only seen success. I had to remember all those things. And I had to remember that I can always call these things up for myself. So anyway, okay. Exactly, Fuzzy. So we got a birthday. Okay. We have a birthday. Let me find it. Let me find the birthday girl. I saw somebody say something about a birthday. Let me rewind and find my Bayou Bruja. It is her birthday. Well, since you are a bruja from the Bayou, baby, you are very, very special to me. I see your avatar as a Bayou too as well. Listen, girl alive, we wish you an amazing, happy birthday. We wish you to get and receive everything that you desire that is for your highest and greatest good. Okay. We wish an amazing year upon you. We declare and call an amazing year for you. We love you so much. We're so grateful that you are around, and we are celebrating you. And Muffin, we want you to get your back blown out. Amen. Now let me find a dusty Negro to sing happy birthday. Which birthday song do you want by you, Bruja? Which one do you want? Big 40? Okay, girl. Okay. Which birthday song you want, Muffin? Which one you want, Pumpkin? Tell me. The original. Got you. I don't know why. I knew that you were going to say that. We got you, Muffin. Okay. Let me find somebody to sing you happy birthday. Like to hear it go.
Happy birthday, hey, to you. That shit hit. Hold up, Rude. Niggas ain't on my shit, bro. Happy birthday to you. Oh. Happy birthday, dear organic. That was all right. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, girl alive. Love you so much. We are going to go over to the other channel and we're going to get it in. All right. I will see you guys on the other side. Let me just go grab me a tall cup of ice water. Okay. Because, you know, your girl alive got to stay hydrated. Amen. See you guys later. Well, later is like 2 or 3 minutes, right? Bye-bye.
Turn me up, I like my money like I like my niggas. Green face card, never decline what I mean. Act up and you gon' make me make a scene. Only time you hear my voice is when they play me on the screen. Got bad habits, I'm not the one you wanna keep. She a trap star, put that lady on a tree. Got her ass so shook, she shaking like an apple tree. Yeah, this life ain't meant for you, but baby girl, it's meant for me. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. This lifestyle got girlies clocking on my teeth. This lifestyle can get you far, know what I mean. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. What it do? This my boo, she from the south. We running man just like these bitches run they mouth. I got the juice, but they still claim it, it's a drought. If I say I'm coming through, I'm about to flip the house. That boy crazy, say he tryna have my baby. Hold on, Slim Shady, just like Mariah, drive him crazy. Got him stressed, make him feel it in his chest. Ask him how it feel, just like a bullet with no vest. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me.